John Wesley was a biblically trained and freshly ordained minister, and he was sent to America as a missionary to teach the Americans about the good news of the gospel. So he got on this ship. He was just normal Englishmen, along with a bunch of other normal Englishmen and sailors who were tough, and nothing scared these sailors. They were just ordinary, they were just your average sailors. We get so many phrases from sailors that we're not going to repeat. Anyway, and there was also this other group of people. And these people were Moravian Christians. Now, these were the exact opposite of the sailors. They were humble. They dressed simply and calmly. And they just had this about themselves that John just interesting. He noticed. Strange. And it impressed him kind of. But so he just, in the back of his mind, he was like, well, probably just another group of people. But one day, these Moravian Christians were starting to do tasks that no one else wanted to do. Stuff that slaves only did. And it was like, what in the world? So he went up and asked them, why are you doing this? And the Moravian simply answered, because Jesus humbled himself for me, so I can humble myself to serve others. And one day, somebody got mad at one of these Moravians, and he was like, man, these Moravians, they're so humble, but what if I beat them up? So he punched him down. But Moravian got up, didn't complain, walked off, didn't pick a fight, didn't complain about whether he was bleeding or not. And that impressed John even more. But one day stuck out the most to John. And this day, the Moravians had just started their worship service and were singing a song and praising God when this gigantic wave came and smashed on the ship. The mainsail split and broke, and the water poured into the decks. And all the Englishmen, the sailors, were feared for their lives. They grabbed on, screaming, crying out. And once the calm again appeared, they all heard these Moravian Christians still singing as if nothing had happened. This shocked John Wesley. How were you not afraid? He asked them one day. And the Moravian answered, thank God I was not afraid. And he said, but what about your women and children? Surely they were afraid. I mean, children, they can get scared at anything, right? They weren't afraid either. Our women and children, he said, we're not afraid to die. So why were these ordinary people, old and young, not afraid to die? And here is the fourth reason why you should choose faith over fear. It's because Jesus has already overcome the world.